shaft system, and we're inside Jerusalem from the Canaanite period, the first temple period, until the destruction of the city in 586 BCE. In the second temple period, the wall moves from down below here to the top of the hill, to area G. So in the second temple period, we were outside the wall. But until then, from the Canaanites through the first temple period, we're inside the city. How do I know that? Because if you look behind the railing, down there, you can see excavation. The wall from the first temple period is right there. So we're definitely inside the walls.
Does that mean the wall?
However, the water system relies always on the source of water, and the source of water in the city of David is the Gihon spring. Where is the Gihon spring? Outside the walls. Where exactly? You see the last trees, you see the line of trees, the green line, it sits on the location of the spring. We're going to be there in a moment. Okay? So, the spring is located outside the wall, which is fine as long as it's peaceful times. But what happens when the enemy is outside? You need to protect the wall. To protect the spring. How do you protect the spring? The Canaanites decided not to build the wall down behind the spring to include it, but rather to leave the wall at this level and only build an extension to surround it, and this is the fortress of the spring, Metzudat HaMa'ayan. This is what we're going to explore, Metzudat HaMa'ayan. Okay, so remember, we're inside, the spring is outside always, and we need to get there safely. How exactly do we do that? So the Canaanites build a fortress, and then an underground passage leading to the fortress. This is the Warren Shaft system in its first phase. The Warren Shaft system has an early phase, which is Canaanite, taking you from here, underground, in the bedrock, into the fortress. You're completely protected all the way until you reach the spring and you reach the water. Right? That's the earliest phase.
Eyal, why do we see it in the...
Here we don't see it. No, this is Vermeer. What?
This is
where we exactly see it here.
Leave it for now. It's not the right
In the picture.
Not here. It's in here.
Okay, sorry.
So that was the first phase. And we're going to see that first phase. Later, in the first temple period, 800 years after what I just told you, the people of Jerusalem in the first temple period, in the 8th century BCE, decided to get rid of the old system and find a way directly to the spring. This is the second phase of the Warren Shaft system, and it happens in the 8th century BCE. And finally, the last phase, also in the first temple period, from the time of Chizkiyahu, they decided to get rid of everything, the passage, the shaft, the Warren Shaft system, everything, and instead of coming to the spring, they decided to take the water to another location in the south. This is the Siloam Pool, where you can gather, many hundreds of people can gather together and draw water safely. So this is the general idea here, that we have three main phases. Let's take a look at my reconstruction of the city and see exactly how things worked in these three phases. Okay? Yes?
Sorry, thank you. Two questions. First, wall for the second temple.
Up there in area G.
So we are outside.
That's right.
Outside.
Yes.
It's the wall was higher.
That's right.
Okay. And why? That's just the way they decided to build it.
No, because when the builders of the wall in the time of Nehemiah were analyzing the region, trying to figure out where to build their walls, what they found on this hill is a huge a mountain of fallen stones, and they were concerned that if they move one stone at the bottom where the old wall used to be, the entire hill will collapse on them. So they decided to simply leave it out and move the wall to a better, higher location.
Thank you.
Okay. And the second question?
Thank you very much. The if you tell me to delay it until you actually explain it, I'll be happy to do so. But the second phase of Warren Shaft,
Is the second phase of Warren Shaft, yes?
to get the water, how did they do that?
We're not there yet, okay?
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm a little confused because my understanding from last trip was that the Warren Shaft had not yet been exposed during the Canaanite period.
We'll get back to that. We're not there yet. So this is just the general assertions of the 3 stages. Details will follow. Don't worry. Yes.
They covered my question.
Okay, so let's go in and begin
And
to
the
explore
timing of the
details.
second
אייל, אני
phase.
פוגשת אתכם בחוץ.
בסדר.